Hello, and welcome in everyone to our Tuesday evening session. Really excited to get into this one, so let's jump right into it. Starting off by finding a comfortable seated position of your choice. And just taking a few moments, maybe about 30 seconds for some free movement here. Just trying to address anything that's really annoying you, anything that's going to keep you from sitting comfortably for the next few minutes. And whenever you're situated, just give yourself one more rock from side to side, front to back on the hips, trying to establish that even foundation and base right off the jump. A tall torso aligned directly over the hips. Shoulders comfortably pulled back so that you have a broad chest and you're able to reach for your clearest inhales and exhales. In through the nose and out through the nose. Settling into stillness. Eyes are closing here. And we're just digging into the first few rounds of our breath. One interesting thing about being forced into the virtual format for the time being, and do look forward to getting back in person with everybody, is that I get a lot of recommendations for shorter videos, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, that sort of thing, which is fine. I get it. Our time is precious. But there's just something missing from a shorter practice. And we need to keep in mind that the whole point of our yoga practice is to prepare us for our practice of meditation. And that's not everyone's cup of tea. Once again, I understand that, which we kind of counterbalance by taking our active Vinyasa style practice, giving the body something to do, allowing the mind that time to turn off. And we know we've had a good practice when, after that full hour, after a full Shavasana, that first deep inhale and full exhale just hits different. So I'd like to really keep that in mind as we practice this evening. We're not going for expediency, the quick result. We're in this for the long haul. It's a lifelong practice. It's not just for the body, it's for the mind, it's for the spirit. Keeping ourselves humbled, walking our journeys close to the ground, not so caught up in the thoughts or the things we have to do in our busy lives. A little more long-winded than usual, but let's try to just hit one last minute here. Just you in the sound of your own breath. Very good. And let's keep our fellow classmates in mind, even though we're not in the same physical location anymore. Even if we're not all taking this practice at the exact same time, we are all still together. So let's try to link ourselves together with 3 deep rounds of breath as we get into our practice here. So completely empty the lungs. And we'll join in together on our deepest inhale through the nose. Full exhale through the mouth. Deep inhale number 2. One last time, all the way in. And all the way out. Very good. Blinking open the eyes. We'll take a big inhale, spread the fingertips wide, and reach the arms out to the side, up above us. And we'll bring both hands to the ground here. Fingertips spread wide, coming onto hands and knees, our first tabletop position. And we're just going to jump right into it. Try to make it a very flowy practice this evening. So tabletop position, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Start off with a few rounds of cat and cow here, taking an inhale, dropping the stomach, the rib cage, feeling the chest and the tailbone lift up. Gaze is straight ahead of you. Exhaling, rounding the spine, pressing rib cage high up as we can. Inhale, dropping the belly, using the arms. Feeling that connection to the ground. Exhale. One more time, inhale. And exhale, round the spine. Let's take a breath in, neutral spine, tabletop. And exhale, send the hips back to the heels. Arms might crawl forward. So you feel that stretch at the shoulders. Take your deepest inhale. And a full exhale. Very good. Moving right along. Earth Salutations. Building up our flow. Inhaling to tabletop. Exhale. Tucks both toes. Lifts the knees. Straightens the legs. As you press back through the arms, folding the torso into downward facing dog. Keeping it moving. One breath at a time. Inhales drop you to tabletop. And exhale back to child's pose. A couple more times, your own pace. Breathe up to table. Exhale to dog. You can keep going all the way to the ground, to table and back to child's pose, or forward to plank. And back to downward dog. And just keep it going, one breath per movement. Keeping that sense of agency, that sense of ownership over your practice. Never relinquishing full control. You're an active participant in this. Next time you get back to downward facing dog, you can pause right there. Begin to bend into the knees one at a time. just trying to get comfortable, tucking chin into chest. Take a breath in, find some stability. Exhale out through the mouth. Take an inhale and take 2 big steps forward to the front of the mat. Feet end up about hips distance apart. We'll straighten both legs, take hands around the knees, and flatten the back. Exhale, bend into both knees. Find our first forward fold here. Tuck chin to chest. Try to get the top of the head pointed down. And bend the knees as much as you need to here. Take an inhale, straighten the legs, flatten the back. And exhale, bend the knees, fold. And inhale. Strong feet, strong legs. Let's stand all the way up. Spine over hips. Arms reach out to the side. Fingertips spread wide. Palms touch overhead. We'll take that right back into a forward fold. Bend the knees. Drop the chest. Inhale all the way up standing. Touch palms and fold forward. All the way up one more time. Good, and we'll take this right into some modified Sun Salutations. One of my favorite versions, so we're working on Chaturanga, that half plank position. In either case, from our forward fold, we're taking 2 big steps back to downward facing dog. Now the sequence is simple, but it may get a little bit tricky, so we'll walk you through it. So from downward facing dog, kind of deconstructing a vinyasa here, shifting shoulders forward over the hands to plank pose. If this is difficult for you at all, you may want to drop onto the knees. Just make sure you find that long line from the knees to the top of the head. If you're comfortable, you may keep your knees off the ground in plank. If you are very comfortable, maybe even feeling strong, you very much trust the position of your hands, we're just going to hold some version of plank for 1 full round of breath. If you're game, we can bend into the elbows, hover halfway. Try to imagine one long straight line from the top of your head to your heels. Hold for an inhale. Full exhale out. And at the end of the exhale, you bring your whole body down. We'll move through our first Cobra Pose here, lifting the chest. Exhale, rolling down. Tucking both toes. Palms are flat and the elbows are close into your sides. Extending both arms straight. Meeting back downward facing dog. And we're holding here for 5 full rounds of breath. Try to feel the heels reaching down towards the ground. Legs are straight as is comfortable. Take your last big inhale. Big open mouth exhale. So we're either going to step or maybe practice trying a hop to the front of the mat. If you're hopping, step your feet together, bend into both knees, and just try jumping forward, landing quietly at the front of your mat, straight legs, flat back. Forward fold. Inhale all the way up standing. Palms touch overhead. And come down to the chest. All right, so we'll pick that up a little more pace, a little more flow. Inhale, arms out and up. Touch palms overhead and exhale, fold. Straighten both legs, flatten the back. Hands come down, back to downward facing dog. And we're just going to reverse the count for our hold and our downward facing dog. So we're shifting forward for plank. You choose the position you want to hold in, either knees down, standard plank, or bending into the elbows. It's 2 rounds of breath this time. Focus, breathe in. Last inhale. Full exhale. And at the end of that exhale, you come down. Next inhale, lift the chest, cobra. Exhale, back down. Tuck toes, meet you back in downward dog. Holding for 4 rounds of breath. Giving yourself a chance to really tune into the sound of the breath. We want that to be a constant. Last inhale. Full exhale. Step or hop your weight forward, front of mat. Straighten both legs and flatten the back. From our forward fold up to standing position. Palms touch and come down to the chest. Let's keep rocking through it. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, fold. Straight legs, flat back. Hands to the ground, downward facing dog. Inhaling forward for plank. Exhaling, find your position. We're holding for a count of 3 this time, or maybe just as long as you like. Breathe in. Two. 3. Full exhale, hold it, hold it, hold it. Once you're empty, come down. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale to the ground. Tuck toes, meet you back in downward facing dog. Stretch out the arms, fill the lungs. 3 rounds of breath. Very good. Step or hop forward, front of mat. Straight legs flat back on an inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Tongue twister there. Inhale all the way up standing. Palms touch and come down. Let's keep it up. 2 more rounds. Building up heat. Forward fold. Straight legs flat back. Hands down, downward dog. Moving forward plank. Finding your position. It's a count of 4 on the hold this time. So choose wisely. Breathe in. 1. 2. 3. 4. Full exhale, hold it, hold it, hold it, and come down. Breathe in through Cobra, maybe even stretching the arms out here. Exhale, come down. Tuck toes, meet you back, downward facing dog. Just a hold of, or excuse me, a count of 2 rounds of breath here. Very nice. Step or hop forward. Straight legs flat back. Fold. Rise to standing. Palms to the chest. One last warm-up round here. Let's go. Inhale, arms up. And fold forward. Straight legs flat back. Hands down, downward facing dog. Moving forward through plank on an inhale. And exhale, assuming the position, you guessed it, it's a count of 5 this time on the hold. Or as long as you can. Inhale, 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Hold the exhale, and once you're empty, come down. Inhale. If your back agrees with it, do try to straighten the arms here. Take a deeper Cobra Pose. Exhale, come down. Tuck both toes. Press yourself back in, up, downward facing dog. It's just 1 round of breath this time. Deepest inhale through the nose. And all the way out through the mouth. Step or hop your way forward, front of mat. Straighten both legs, flatten the back. Fold here. And all the way up standing. Palms touch and come down to the chest. 3 full rounds of breath. Very nice. All right, let's take some more flow here. Sun Salutations Series B with some modifications. Bending into knees, squatting hips, chair pose to start. Exhale, straighten the legs as much as you like, forward fold. Straight legs flat back on an inhale. Exhale, hands touch down, back to downward facing dog. And an optional vinyasa to get us started. So they'll all be optional from this point on. You can always rest with your knees down, maybe pause in downward facing dog, or begin your flow on an inhale. Forward to plank. Exhale to the ground. Inhale, cobra, or perhaps upward facing dog with the knees up. Exhaling back down. Tuck toes, inhale straight up to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take an inhale and float the right leg straight back and up behind us. Now if we can, let's see if we can keep the right leg elevated the whole time through as we shift forward to plank. Testing the balance of the arms here. Exhale, press it back, three-legged dog. Right leg lifts up. So just shifting forward and back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale one more time. Exhale back, right leg lifts up an inch higher than previously. We'll step our right foot forward front of the mat. And you choose your lunge, either with the left knee down, low lunge, left heel down, warrior one, or left heel up, stacked over toes, high crescent lunge. Torso over hips, right knee over ankle, both arms floating up. Breathe in. Exhale out. Big inhale. A lot of work on the arms here, so let's just try to provide a little bit of mobility. Exhale, reach the arms out to the side. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale to the side. Last time up. Last time down. Option 1, touch the waist. Option 2, interlace fingers behind the back. Option 3 is take the torso forward and down into humble warrior. Not collapsing torso onto the right leg, either hovering above or inside the right knee. Just a short trip through this time. One big inhale. Exhale, release the hands, lift yourself back up, high lunge. Exhale, both hands down. Back to downward facing dog, maybe even three-legged dog. Rest, pause, or flow through vinyasa. Maybe even the one-legged version with the right leg staying up. Back to downward facing dog. We're just going to keep chugging right along. Inhale, left leg backing up. Here we go, forward and backwards to plank. So inhale, forward plank. Back to dog. Forward. Back. Forward. And last time back. Really try to pull the left heel up. Step foot forward, front of mat. Choose your version of lunge, but stick the left knee directly over ankle. Feel the torso aligned over hips so you're not leaning all crazy or anything. Stand up tall. And a little bit different with the arms. want you to keep pulling them out to the side, but this time bend into the elbows. Take cactus arms. Straighten the arms and pull up. Exhale, bend the elbows, pull back. Inhale, reach up. Pull out and down. Same 3 options here. Touch the waist. Interlace the fingers. Or take the torso forward, humble warrior. Hands can stay close to the back, or they might start to float up into space. Only here for a count of 3, 2, and 1. Release the hands, stand yourself up. Both hands come down. Downward dog. Optional vinyasa. 1 breath per movement. Inhale forward. Exhale down. Inhale back bend. Exhale down. To plank. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, step or hop forward. Lift the chest up halfway. And a big exhale, fold. Bend into the knees, squat the hips back through chair position. Chest forward. Exhale, stand up tall. Full breath in. Exhale out. Good. Let's keep it moving. Nothing too unconventional here. Back through chair. Just focusing on flow and finding 1 breath per movement. Building up that meditative movement. Back to downward facing dog. A vinyasa to get things started. Inhale. Very good. Meet you back in downward facing dog, where we'll float the right leg back and up once again. And the right leg is totally optional. Here we are. So let's take an inhale and exhale. We'll shift forward, shoulders over hands. Try to touch the right knee down to the right wrist. Slide the right knee up the arm. And then we'll press back, 3-legged dog. So it's a knee sliding movement. Shift shoulders forward over hands. Knee comes down to right wrist. Slide the knee up and press back. 1 last time, forward and down, up and back. Take an inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, step right foot forward, front of mat. Try to keep the left knee up if you can, either for warrior 1 or high crescent lunge. Right knee over ankle, inhale, arms up. Full exhale. Let's take both hands forward and down, framing the right foot, and we'll shift our weight into the standing right leg. You can either hold right here in standing splits. If you need to take it back a little bit, just bring your left foot back down to the ground and press the right leg straight. Otherwise, in standing splits, we'll just try to work on a couple of folds over the standing right leg. So lift the chest up halfway. Exhale. Hands on the ground. Try to drive the chest towards the right leg. Inhale, give yourself some space. Exhale, fold. Lift. And last time folding. Float the chest halfway. Big step back with the left foot. Right leg steps back as well. Downward facing dog. Rest, pause, or flow through Vinyasa. Shoulders forward over hands. Back in downward facing dog. Moving right along, left leg back and up. And here we go. Shift shoulders over hands. Knee drives through center, down to the left wrist. Slide the knee up the arm. And then press yourself back. Three-legged dog, left leg up high. Inhale, knee forward and down. Exhale, slide up and back. One last time, forward, back, up, and now back. Left foot steps forward, front of mat. Choose your version of a high lunge with the right knee up. Both arms up. And exhale, both hands down to the ground, framing left foot. And you can keep your right foot on the ground if you want to work runner's lunge. Just press the left leg straight. Still getting a good hamstring stretch, no matter how you go about it. Maybe shifting forward into standing splits. Hands to the ground. We'll just work 3 folds here. Taking an inhale, lift the chest up halfway. Exhale, folding over the leg. Inhale, up. Folding. Up. And fold. Inhale, chest up. Exhale, right leg back. Left leg back, downward facing dog, and your version of Vinyasa, maybe a break. Meet you back in downward dog, deepest inhale yet. Exhale out. Let's step or hop both feet forward. Lift the chest up halfway. And exhale into a deep fold. Inhale up through chair, bend the knees. And exhale, stand up tall. Deepest inhale. Full exhale. Here we go. Last active round. We'll bend into the knees, find chair once again. Exhale, fold. Straight legs, flat back. Hands down, downward dog on the exhale. Getting ourselves started with a Vinyasa. 1 breath per movement. Recommit to the sound of your breath. Staying with the action on the arms, let's take an inhale, float the right leg back and up. Plenty of options here, so don't get intimidated. We're shifting shoulders over hands. We're taking the right knee forward through center. We're going to try to step and extend the right leg to the left. Right foot comes to the left side of the mat, probably off the mat. You can stay here. You can roll to the inside of the left foot. You can pick the left hand, left arm off of the ground, sending it straight up toward the sky, finding fallen triangle. If you're feeling brave, you can even float the right leg off the ground. About one deep inhale. Full exhale. Reverse every bit of that motion. Left hand comes down, pivot on the back left foot. Right leg lifts up, three-legged dog. Exhale, foot forward, front of mat. Now let's stay low to the ground here. Going to give you an option for half moon. Maybe crawling the right fingertips forward. Shifting the weight forward onto the right foot, right leg. Left hand to the left hip. Pulling the hip open so it stacks on top of the right. Left leg in line with the hips. Finding half moon here. If half moon's not your jam, just keep the left leg towards the back of your mat. Right leg straight. Here in triangle. Wherever you are, let's just try to breathe our way through it. And we'll focus on longer holds in another class. For now, we just want to keep everything moving, focusing on flow. Left hand comes down. Big step back with the left foot. Big step back and maybe up with the right leg. Resting on the ground, pausing in downward dog, or flowing through Vinyasa. Downward dog. How about a full breath in between sides? And a big exhale through the mouth. Alrighty, last active round. Inhale, left leg back and up. Let's start to shift the shoulders forward over the hands. Left knee bends through center. And we're pivoting, so we're sending the left leg as straight as we can to the right side of the mat. And you stop whenever you hit a step that hits your comfortable challenge level. Roll to the inside of the right foot. Balancing on the strong and able left arm. Right arm extends up. For 3, 2, and 1. Right hand comes forward and down. Pivot on the right foot, and the left leg back and up. Left foot comes forward front of your mat. So remember, you have your option for a triangle here. If you turn the right toes to face the long edge of the mat, left hand stays down or finds somewhere on the left leg. Send it straight. There's triangle. If you prefer half moon, your left hand is to the ground, about a foot in front of the left foot. Right hand to the right waist. Hips are stacked over top of each other. Your gaze can be straight down, to the side, or up above towards your right hand. breath in. Exhale, deconstructing the pose. Finding your way back, three-legged dog. Maybe downward facing dog, maybe child's pose, maybe our final vinyasa. Downward facing dog, take your deepest breath in. Full open mouth exhale. Step or hop your way forward, front of the mat. Straighten the legs, flatten the back. Check out the progress you've made on your forward fold at this point. And let's hold here for a few rounds of breath, maybe grabbing onto ankles, back of the shin. Maybe hands in opposite elbows. Breathe in. Exhale out. Bend the knees, squat the hips. Sweep the arms forward and up. Lift the chest up so it's facing forward as well. And find your next exhale. Stand up tall. Standing mountain pose. Deepest inhale. Full open mouth exhale. Stick the tongue out. Very nice. Take one big inhale. Loop the shoulders up, back, and down. Good. Let's take an inhale. Pull both arms out to the side and up above us. Exhale, big forward fold, slowing our pace down here. Inhale, straighten the legs, flatten the back. And exhale, both hands come down and step ourselves back, downward facing dog. Very good. All right, so let's take this opportunity to move a little bit further into all this length we've been building up. So strong hands, strong arms. If your arms are really feeling worked by now, you can drop your left knee down to the ground. Take an inhale, fold the right leg back and up. You have the option to bend into the right knee, open up the hips, twisted dog. You can stay right here. You can drop the right foot and lift and open the hips once again. Or maybe even take big circles with the right knee. Just remember keeping ownership over your practice. And whenever you're ready, square the hips. Float the right leg, three-legged dog. And here we go, shifting shoulders forward over hands. The right knee is coming up to the right wrist. Try to land ourselves in pigeon position. As we settle the hips evenly onto the mat. Take a look behind you. Make sure the left leg is extended straight back from the hip, not swinging off to one side or the other. And you're welcome to bring your hands to the ground and fold the torso over. Every once in a while, I like to throw some flow into this pose as well. So I'll keep the hands onto the ground, fingertips tinted up. I'll just take a big breath in at the top. And exhale, bend into the elbows, wave the torso forward and down. Inhale. Inhale, straighten the arms, float the torso. And fold. Good. So you can stay still once you're close to the ground or keep it moving. Always nice to shift up your perspective on a familiar pose. Let's bring both hands to the ground, straighten the arms, and lift the torso one more time. Stand tall through a full exhale. Use the hands and arms to lift the hips up so we can roll over onto the right side. Swing the left leg all the way around. Facing front of mat. Extend the right leg straight out in front of you. Bend the left knee out to the side. Let's take one last big forward fold, isolated on one leg here. Reach the arms forward and down. Finding some place to wrap your hands around. Try to keep the torso long. Fight that urge to round in the spine. Take a full breath in. And an exhale out. Let's lift the torso up. Raise the arms, cross at the ankles, and roll ourselves forward over the knees through tabletop. Back up to downward facing dog. Give you a moment to walk out the knees. Maybe you want to drop to the knees and rest. Maybe a good time if you want to throw in one last extra vinyasa. Full breath in. Exhale out. All right. Almost finished. One last sequence of poses. If the arms are really feeling worked, just remember, drop the right knee down to the ground here. We'll take an inhale, float the left leg back and up. And you have your option for however you would like to approach Twisted Dog. Maybe staying still, maybe flowing up and down, maybe drawing big circles with the left knee. Definitely one of my favorites, really hits the spot. Take an inhale, float the left leg straight back and up. And exhale. Here we go, dropping forward into pigeon, left knee to the left wrist. Allowing our hips to drop evenly to the mat. Visually verifying our right leg isn't doing anything funky behind us. Straight back from the hip. And you know your options. You can come right down to the ground or hands off the mat, fingertips tented here, bending into elbows. And straightening the arms, flowing the torso up. gaze up towards the ceiling. So about a minute in this space. And let's all take an inhale, lift the torso up. Full exhale. Lift the hips, roll over onto the left side so that we can swing the right leg all the way around. Left leg extends straight, right knee bends out to the right side. And reaching the arms up, maybe just reaching them forward, crawling the fingertips along the ground as we keep the torso long. Tuck the chin into the chest and extend ourselves over the straight left leg. Take a full breath in. And an exhale out. Lifting torso up. Straightening both legs. Give them a few shakes on the mat here. Good job, everybody. Made it through another full, well-rounded practice here. Go ahead and grab onto the back of your thighs and with some control, roll flat onto your back. Gather both knees into your chest. And try to take a minute or two for any free movement. Extra stretches or postures that are a normal part of your practice, or something that your body is particularly asking for at this point. And if you need any extra time, do take advantage of our virtual format and just pause the video right here. You cannot rush a great practice. Once you've gotten all the movement you need, just try to relax flat onto your back, or perhaps seated meditative pose like the way we started. Letting the eyes close, the breath return to its most natural pace. Taking our final posture, Shavasana. Our final few minutes here are between you and the sound of your own breath. next few rounds of breath. Blinking the eyes open, sending movement through the extremities here, and let that movement guide you up at your own pace back to a seated position. Taking a few deep rounds of breath, and hopefully experiencing some of that joy that a full yoga practice can provide for you. Type of feeling that comes out of physical expression. The sense of calm that comes from turning the brain off for an hour. And the sense of relief that even though 1 hour of our valuable time has passed, it has been spent in pursuit of our own health and our own happiness. So I thank you all for joining me once again, and commend you for the effort and continued dedication that you showed to your practice. Until the next time.